So what we wanted to share with you, it's not only the demo that we gave back in June in Los Angeles, but as I said, we integrated community contribution to that demo. So it's the E3 demo plus the community contribution to the game. But on top of that, before we start with the demo, at E3 back in June, Emile and Gab were giving a small introduction to the universe, to what we're up to in the BGNE universe again. So go ahead, guys, take home.
Yeah, just to give a bit of context about this speech about the world and the lore of Beyond Good and Evil 2, we were giving this speech right before the demo at E3, in a room, in our demo room actually.
Yeah, so we're doing the
same thing, and we were in front of a wall of concept arts. So now we're going to show those concept arts, of course, full screen here, and we've added some new exclusive concept art that no one has seen so far. So we will show you that and comment
just for
those
you
image.
Space Monkeys.
Exactly, exclusive content.
So for you Space Monkeys that happen to have come out to LA, you may have already seen some of this stuff, so hang in with us. We're just trying to actually make you drool before you get to see the actual gameplay.
Yes. So Gab, you can start.
So for those of you, I'm sure you remember that we're making a space opera, and it takes place in the 24th century in a distant galaxy, many, many miles, hundreds and hundreds of light years away from the Earth.
Exactly. And in the game, sorry, I have to move the slides. You will be playing as a space pirate captain. A space pirate captain who will have, of course, a ship, even several ships, and a space pirate captain who will also have a crew, of course. So you will have to recruit the best crew members possible among all the people you will meet in the universe of Beyond Good and Evil 2. It will be a strong motivation for you to have the best crew possible.
So if you go back to the very first trailer that was 2 E3s ago, you might remember this image. This is the mysterious Moksha gateway. And it's one of the main stakes in System 3. Everyone wants to know what exactly is behind this particular gate. And in that trailer, if you remember, this is where Dakini and the crew of the Gata, this is our mysterious green-eyed captain, and she was the space pirate captain, and she obtained the coordinates in the very first trailer. And then in the trailer from the more recent trailer that we did, she has gone missing. And this is where we meet Shani and the rest of the legendary crew of the Gata. So Dakini's gone missing, and Shani's taken over as captain, and she's leading them beyond into the deep depths of space in search of Dakini and the mystery of Moksha. And this is where they're going to encounter for the very first time their nemesis. And if anyone recognizes their nemesis, that's Jade. But it's a very different Jade. Jade, she's much darker and mysterious and a lot younger.
Yeah, it's younger Jade because Beyond Good and Evil 2 is a prequel, of course, to Beyond Good and Evil 1. So Jade is quite different in this one. She's actually a pirate hunter. Pirates are very afraid of this, little girl slaying pirates in all System 3.
Absolutely. So she's a legend in her own right. And she goes throughout the galaxy hunting down the pirates.
So sometimes after the events depicted in this second trailer, you will play as a young space pirate captain who decides to go on a journey on his own expedition to actually discover what happened to Dakini and her legendary officers, a legendary crew, and try to find out what's the mystery behind Moksha's gate.
So if just to backtrack a little bit, we wanted to let you know that the first expeditions that left the Earth in order to come and explore the Surya solar system came, and the very first expedition was sent out, and they deployed clones. Of course, it was very hostile, and they were going to face terrible conditions. So the first people that they sent out there were just clones of the experts. They came and they established outposts. And what you see here in the image is Dios, which is a huge gas giant around which you see the planet in the foreground, which is Soma. And Soma is a moon that turns around the Dios. Yes. And this is one of the first planets that they settle.
Exactly, and this is something that you will see actually in the demo a bit later. So you were talking about clones. We have this nice concept art depicting the creation of a clone. This is actually a research thing we're still trying to figure out, but it was just to give you an update about this. What's really important to have in mind is that at that time, cloning was the only way to populate this new solar system. So people in System 3 have been created from a limited number of DNA strains that they had on board that very, very first ship. It means that all the people you will meet actually in Beyond Good and Evil 2 are clones coming from those limited number of DNA strains. Clones in this world are created, are being built, engineered to fulfill a specific role in this society. So for instance, if you are born an hybrid monkey, you are meant to be a miner because hybrid monkey are very agile. So they make great miners, when they work in the underground mines of System 3. So right from your birth, you have this kind of weight, huge weight, on your... but if you are a clone, you can choose to escape from this pre-written past, this pre-written destiny. And the ultimate rebel act for a clone in this universe is actually to become a pirate. Exactly.
That's right.
You turn against this system.
Sure. So as a player character, you're going to encounter other clones throughout this world who look like you. And part of your identity and the way you can build your identity is by creating your own look and feel. And you'll see later that the clone on the left side, the hybrid monkey, is the one that one of the player characters in the demo that we're going to see.
Exactly. What's really important is that at the beginning of the game, we will ask you to create your own space pirate captain. We are an RPG, so we want you to create your own character. And to create your character, you will be able to choose your visual identity, visual aspect among all the DNA strains that we are using to create all the characters in the game. So you will have a lot of choice at the beginning of the game. If you want to be a human character, male or female, coming from different ethnic groups, it will be possible. Also, of course, if you want to be an hybrid coming from different species, also male or female, it will be possible. And also, right from the beginning, you will have some customization object to personalize your character and make it different than the other one. And as you play along, of course, you will unlock a lot of customization objects to have even more unique character. So these are just, of course, some examples of the characters that you could create in the final game. And this image here is very, very important for us because it really shows the diversity that we want to have among pirates in the game. Only these people, these guys dress the way they want, live the way they want in a very oppressive system where everything is normalized, standardized. And only here you see humans and hybrids living as equal, living together as equals. This is something that only happens among pirates in System 3. Now we're going to talk a bit about Soma.
Yeah, sure. So we're going to zoom in on the planet Soma. This is the moon that we saw earlier that's orbiting around Deus, the gas planet. And when they reached Soma, they had seen images of the planet, and that particular continent looks very much like India, and that's where they decided to establish their first outpost. And the first outpost grew and grew over the years and the centuries. And this is where they're going to establish the sacred city of Ganesha, which is where the gameplay takes place.
And you will see that our demo takes place on Soma. As you can see on this image, Soma has a very, very specific ecosystem. It's actually split in two. You have one side of the planet always turned towards a huge gas giant. Again, Soma is a moon rotating around Dios, this gas giant.
So it's protected.
Exactly. This side is protected. As we can see on this image, it's pretty lush. You have all the biomes that you could find on Earth, forest, mountains, oceans, and huge cities. Among them is Ganesha City, of course. And the other side of the planet is always turned towards space and frequently bombarded with huge meteorite showers, breaking the ground of the planets and creating these huge craters on the planet. And the humans living on the safe side of the planet are sending hybrid slaves to this dangerous side of the planet to collect a very, very specific mineral, a rare mineral called divalite, that can only be found on this dangerous side of Soma. And those, of course, those hybrids are sent almost to their deaths when they go under this meteorite shower to collect this precious mineral.
Yeah, we can see on the next. You can see that the bombarded side is extremely dangerous.
Exactly.
So they're much like cannon fodder. They just get sent out, and they know that hundreds are going to die, and that they're going to bring back just small chunks of divalite, which comes from Diwali. It's a word which means light, and there's a huge festival in India called the Festival of Lights. So that's the association with this incredibly important resource, that's one of the most important resources in the solar system.
And from this specific ecosystem on Soma, new beliefs are born. And now people believe that it's the gods themselves that are protecting, the safe side of Soma. And when the humans send hybrids on the dangerous side on Naraka, they tell them that they are on a godly mission, basically. And that the divalite is sent by the gods. And they tell them that if they collect enough Divalite, they could win their freedom and not be slaves anymore.
Right.
And it's something that almost never happens. And again, most of the hybrids die in this pretty cruel process.
Yeah, and you can see just how horrible the conditions. It almost feels like World War I on this side, with trenches and and huge explosions as the meteorites crash into this side of the planet. And here we see the hybrid monkeys who have a special mechanical glove that they wear in order to collect the Divalite, which is incredibly volatile. It explodes in your face. And one of the stories about the hybrids that go on this side is that they have a certain quota that they have to attain, and if they don't attain that quota, then they don't get picked up in the end, and they just leave them to die. So it's an incredibly stressful area for the hybrid slaves.
And we are going to finish this speech talking about Ganesha City, the city where the demo is going to take place. So
exactly.
Go ahead,
so you saw the continent that looks much like India, and then we zoomed down, and this is the first outpost that grew and grew until they established this gorgeous city, which became known as the sacred city of Ganesha. And tourists come from all over the solar system in order to visit the temples that are in the upper city and to lounge in the bars and to have a good time. While in the depths of the city that are down at the bottom there, that's where the poorest elements, the pariahs, the outcasts, and all of the criminal elements of the city reside. And just before we move into the demo, the very last image, we're going to penetrate deep beneath the temples of Ganesha into this old abandoned temple where they're doing some illicit tests on the hybrids, and I'll let you guys discover what's going on in the demo itself. And I'm going to leave you in the able hands of Guillaume and of Emile as they give you, finally, gameplay!
Thank you, guys. Thanks, Emile and Gab. We really appreciate it. Yeah, if you're just joining us, this is Space Monkey Report number 4, and we are going to be going on to a demo. We know you're going to have questions, so again, if you have any questions from the talk that Emile and Gab just gave, please let us know in the chat or at #BGE, AskBGE, or on bgegame.com or in the forums. And let's take it away with the gameplay demo.
Okay, so we are starting.
This is the big moment.
This is it. So just before we start, everything that you're going to see in this demo is still a work in progress. We are pre-alpha stage, so there are still some rough areas, but it was important for us as a team to share this with you, fans, Space Monkeys. So bear with us. We're a bit anxious, but let's get to it. So let's start this commented demo. Let's go. Okay, so as I said, it's a work in progress build. However, here is what we have. We're going to start the demo with what you guys created, actually,
exactly.
Because we've said it. This is a demo that's been updated with the community created assets, art, and music. So we wanted to start with your contribution into our common, actually, demo. So that's Emile. You can let us know about this.
You see a lot of example of integrations from the community inside the demo, but this one is really interesting because it's actually a depiction of the Moksha's Gate we've been talking about. Something that hybrids are dreaming about. For them, they hope that one day they will cross this gate and reach a safe heaven. Where they will live in complete freedom. And what I really like with this artwork, it shows that the hybrids, so they don't have so many means to create those artworks. They are doing it with what they found. Exactly, they do that with what they found, and this artwork is really interesting for that. It was the perfect place actually to put it at the beginning of the demo in this weird cave actually where our players are moving.
It's quite emotional for us to show this because again, it's not only our work; it's the work we created together. So that's really, really great.
Exactly.
So BGE is an RPG, action adventure RPG. You can play alone or with your friends in co-op. Today's demo is going to be 2 players. So we have Audrey on the right of the screen and Johan on the left of the screen. Johan and Audrey picked their characters at the beginning of BGE, so they are picking among the different DNAs that Emile was talking about earlier. And Johan picked the DNA shared with Nox, so it's a monkey DNA.
Hybrid monkey DNA.
Hybrid monkey DNA. He customized it to his liking, so with different outfits, so black outfit, face tattoos. So it's really his character. Audrey picked a female character who shares the same DNA as Shani, the legendary character of the trailers. But she customized her character the way she wanted, with custom gear and custom costumes. So it's really, you play your own character. So what's happening here? We want to give an adventure flavor to BGNE too. So
our two players here, they have heard, about strange rumors of hybrids trafficking taking place in an underground abandoned temple of Ganesha City. And so they've entered this old abandoned temple, and now they're exploring it. They don't know what they're going to find out.
It's very important.
Exactly, they're on a quest. It's very important for us to have these mysteries, those investigations that you are going to lead to try to discover the darkest secrets, taking place in System 3.
Yeah, and so you're gonna have in the game many areas like this where you need to just search for your object, search for things, unveil the mysteries. It's key for us because we want this link with BGNE1 with this adventure flavor. We said in the beginning, BGNE2 is about make you feel as a space pirate captain. So gameplay-wise, really concretely gameplay-wise, we define 3 key abilities for you to use as a space pirate captain. These are the moves that you're going to be doing a lot. So you've got a gun, you can shoot. You've got a sword to fight close combat. And you've got jetpack, so you can fly around. So these are your 3 key abilities. And on top of that, we've added another layer that we call augments.
What we call augments. So augments are actually specific powers, specific abilities that you can equip either on your gun, your sword, or even on your character. And depending on where you equip them, it will change their effects. You can build specific decks, also combining different types of augments. Keep in mind that augments basically will define your playstyle as a space pirate captain.
And you're going to loot them, you're going
to
unlock
them and find the rarest.
So here we see that Audrey has been frozen.
Exactly. There is friendly fire, of course, on augments, so you can annoy your teammates when you play in groups of friends.
And the effects just accumulate to make some crazy
you can stack the effects of the
combinations.
augments. Yeah, very interesting also for that.
So once our demoists are finished fooling around with the augments, we're gonna continue the demo. So BGNE is a game you play alone, as I said, or with your friend in co-op. But in this game, you don't need to stick together in the universe. So here, Audrey is gonna be parting ways with Johan for this small part, and so she's gonna be going in this corridor. We're gonna switch to Johan, who took another route. So Johan is exploring this part of the temple, and he's stumbling upon this big dustbins filled with hybrid monkey parts. So arms, legs cut down to pieces. So it's a bit sad and a bit creepy. So it goes in with your investigation of knowing what's happening in this area. And what we like to say is, if as a player, if you didn't escape your fate as a hybrid monkey slave, then maybe you would have ended in this dustbins with your fellow unlucky hybrid monkeys. So now Johan is progressing carefully. We see in the distance that there's some light, and we can distinguish some enemies. So we're going to go back, switch to Audrey's point of view for the next part of the
Audrey is reaching the same room from above, and we can see those creepy scientists in the distance, making some weird experiments on hybrids. And now Audrey is using the spyglass, another very, very important equipment for space pirate captains. With the spyglass, you can scan your environment. You can also scan enemies. And when you scan enemies, you can see that they are also equipped with specific augments.
Yeah, it's giving you a lot of information.
Exactly. Augments that you have can also be equipped on enemies. And depending of the augments equipped on the enemies, they will behave totally in different ways and attack you in different ways.
So this guy is a pushback.
Exactly. And the creepy scientists, they have some healing bullets. It means that they will be able to heal the guards during the fight. So you have to be careful about that. So if you want to take time to have the right strategy for combat, it's always good, to scan your enemy first.
Yeah,
but
you're not forced.
Exactly. If you don't want to do it and rush to the action, you can also do it, of course. Just gives an extra layer.
Yeah. So I think that's the moment where we switch back to Johan, and our players are going to engage.
They are going to engage the fight, so they can synchronize between themselves to really start the fight at the best moment and at the best strategy. So now we're going to go back on Johan.
So he's going to using
take his gun to shoot actually an augment. He's been shooting a freezing augment on one of the scientists. And the start is now fighting the big blue dome that you're seeing there is actually slowing down enemies. So once enemies enter this dome, they move very, very slowly. It's easier for you to hit them with your Ford.
And you can see that during the fight, you can use the three basic abilities. So
exactly.
Shooting, augments, for example, fighting with your sword, and also combining the jetpack, so you can have actions from the air down.
You can launch some specific attacks from your jetpack when you're flying above the enemies. So again, augments would be very, very important for you to succeed in your fight against the various enemies that you will meet in the game.
In this demo, we have only a few augments, and
very limited.
GK is going to be coming a bit later to show you the
give you an
progress.
update about this.
And this is very important for us to share this. The main message we want to give to the players here is that we're bringing back melee combat from BGNE 1 to BGNE 2. That's the key thing. So we're done.
Yeah, all the enemies have been taken down, and now Johan is going to use the spyglass again. As you can see, one of the hybrids is not dead. He's not in a good shape, but he's not dead. And you can scan him, and by scanning him, you will see that he has the skills of a mechanic. This is very important because, like I was saying, in the game, you will be able to recruit your crew members among all the people you will meet. So you could, if you need a mechanic, you could actually recruit this guy to put him in your crew. We're not showing too much of this today, but keep in mind that building the best crew possible is very, very important in Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Yes, as we said, so you've got three key abilities, your sword, your gun, and your jetpack. And so that's on the micro gameplay part of things. And on a larger scale, to define our space pirate experience, we want you to have your space captain, your crew, and your ship. So these are the three big pillars. Talking of ships, here are some. They are conveniently parked here for the purpose of the demo. The main thing here is that any vehicle you see in the game, you can drive it, you can fly it. So this overbike, this fighter, you can fly them. Our demoists are going to give us a tour through outside of this temple into Ganesha City. So welcome to Ganesha City. So this is our in-game version of the city that you saw is in our trailers. So that's the same place. As I said already, you can part ways. Johan is going to be doing his stuff and still be in the same session, but we will follow Audrey, who's going to give us a tour of the inside of Ganesha City. So we start with the lower part of the city, where the hybrid are living.
You can see the shanty towns where the hybrids are living right over there.
It's a kind of a segregation going on in this city, with hybrid living down in the shanty towns and humans living up in the upper part of the city. We're gonna make a spotlight on this
on the
giant
left, you can see
fresco.
A beautiful example of the community creation.
Created by you.
Exactly, these murals, religious murals depicting,
really
of course, the divinity Ganesha. And as you can see, we had this huge wall, so we had to put it there. Keep in mind that there will be many places, especially in huge city, to display actually creations from the community. So this would be a unique way for you guys to actually see your creations in the final game.
In the same way, you can pick up any vehicle and drive it. You can land any place in the city. There's no problem. You can enter a lot of places as well. We'll see this in a moment. We really like this position in Ganesha City on the foot of this huge statue. And this statue is mixing high-tech elements such as hologram and old-style statues. And we really like this very specific atmosphere that it brings to Ganesha City and to science fiction as we see it. You can see there's a lot of traffic in the city, but we'll see in the updated videos on the traffic that we'll have later that we've improved this a lot over the past few months. In the city, so you've got the traffic, you've got statues, but you also got some specific locations, such as here. You can see the police station that's guarded with scouting ships, police scouting ships, and also a heavy frigate. You can use your spyglass to have information on everything, and it's kind of an upgraded version of the camera,
from the first game,
BGNE one.
exactly. Yeah.
So you can take pictures and etc. But you can do much more with this Pi glass. Here we're scanning the traffic to see what kind of vehicles are there. Here we're scanning this building to see it's a temple. You can enter this temple the same way we were in a few minutes ago. There's a bank here if you want to do some robbery or if you just want to withdraw money to go to that shop, for example.
For a pirate, all these locations are opportunities. You can steal those places, you can attack them, you can also choose to actually buy something. If you want to be a nice pirate.
Exactly. In the shop you can buy augments, you can buy gear, you can buy new outfits. So it's really up to your liking. So here Audrey is gonna steal another borrow another overbike. So in this version there's no police coming after you for this, but it's coming into this version. So here what we are listening to is also a community created asset and especially music for Radio Cheetah.
Yeah, the Space Pirate
radio. Yes, exactly. So we'll leave you to listen to this. The one is good here, playing with us. So we are coming to this location. That's the gate of Ganesha City Main Street. It's the opening of the city, and it's a place where tourists from all over System 3 are like to come and to take pictures of this giant Ganesha statue that we're going to visit a bit later in the demo. So now we say that BGNE 2 is about your character, your being yourself and expressing yourself in the game. So you can do it with your captain, space pirate captain, but also with your ships.
Yeah, basically keep in mind that all the aspect of your pirate fantasy, you will be able to customize them in the game. So you will be able to customize, of course, your small ships, the fighters, as we call them, but you will be also able to customize in the same way your huge mothership that we will see a bit later in the demo. So here, Audrey is playing with the various modules that are composing her fighter and changing completely, of course, the visual aspect of this fighter, but also changing the way this ship will, the handling and the way you pilot this ship. She's also playing with the gear, and she will finish with all the cosmetic elements to customize her ship. So the color palette, of course, but also the pattern, and she will finish this by putting an emblem, pirate logo on her ship. And you will see that as soon as she has finished the ship, she will be able to play with this ship in the demo.
Instantly,
exactly,
created. The ship.
Yeah, exactly. So in the distance, Johan, as you can see, as he approached a bit too close to the big statue, the big Ganesha statue.
So we switched to
exactly. And there are rules in this city, and it attracted the police, and the police is now attacking Johan. So Audrey is going to try to join him
taking some hits.
Exactly, to help him fight all those small police.
He's a bit outnumbered.
Exactly, the small police fighter. And there's also a big frigate there, and our two players are not strong enough at the moment to take down this frigate, so they have to make sure that they take down this small ship and try to escape. As you can see, we have this pretty nervous dogfight that is...
now we're back on Audrey.
Exactly, Audrey is coming to help Johan. There will be also fights with big motherships. Those fights will play totally differently. It will be much slower. You will have to move your ship around the other one and fight at the right moment. Exactly. But the dogfights are, they play like this.
And there's something we need to add is that you have augments for your ships as well.
Yeah, for instance, you could have healing missiles and you could shoot them at some friends to heal them during a co-op fight. So they are doing a pretty good job taking down all those small fighters from the police.
And as we said, so here is the big frigate.
Yeah.
And they're a bit too weak for now.
Too strong. You're seeing that the missiles don't break it. So
they're going to have to escape from here. Yeah. But before this, we asked Johan to go very close to the head of the statue.
So you can see the details.
To show you the details of this giant statue that was built by the inhabitants of Ganesha City.
Probably built by Hybrid Slave, by the way.
Probably, yes. Yeah. The dark side of the statue.
Exactly.
So Audrey is now putting a marker on her mothership, which is parked a bit further away from the city. It's a few thousand kilometers away, so we're going to be going to that place. But don't worry, because we have really big speeds in the game. We'll be there in no time. So
stay with us.
Stay with us. Before this, Audrey will do a small stunt close to the statue.
Yeah. Pretty risky.
Yes, thank you. And she's going to fly over Ganesha City. So that's the city we were in a few minutes ago. We're going to aim at Cameron Spaceport, this city, and then take up the sky to the to Audrey's mothership. And now that's my favorite moment of the demo. I'm saying to everyone, please take a moment to remember where we were 10 minutes ago. We were inside a hidden temple beyond the surface of Ganesha City. We fought a close quarter combat with some guards and scientists. Then we escaped through the city with overbikes and through the traffic. We fought against the police around the giant statue and then flew to this location on top of the planet. So really, in a few minutes, we went seamlessly from a small interior to the grand view of the full planet.
Exactly.
And that's one of the key things in BGNE 2. It's that difference of scales that you can feel during the gameplay and transitioning from a small scale, like a human scale, to a planetary scale. And going through the spaceship scale. So it's very mind-boggling, and that's what really drives us to move forward. We want that feeling to be super cool.
A quick comment about the mothership of Audrey. She customized her mothership to make it look like the Gada, the famous mothership of the Kini, the one we've been showing in our two trailers. But you can imagine that you can customize it in a totally different way.
And it's roughly 500 meters long.
Yeah, it's pretty long.
It's a really
pretty huge ship, yeah.
So Audrey has exited her spaceship, fighter, sorry, and you can see a very rough effect on her character. It's just a work in progress effect to show you that you've got a shield when you are out in the open. You can breathe with no difficulty. If you want to see a better looking version, look at the 2018 trailer when Shani is exiting her space fighter to go to the space, and she has this kind of effect. I was talking about scale, so it's very important for us to have links between the different scales of gameplay. So this geoglyph is kind of...
This is another great example of community creation. Yeah, this is a giant geoglyphs. We want to have several geoglyphs like this on the surface of the different planets.
Reminds of the Nazca.
Exactly. So this has been created by the community, and the idea is that when you see a geoglyph like this from space, when you are flying above the planet, these geoglyphs are actually hints for treasures hidden on the ground of the planet, or maybe mystery secret entrance to temples. And the idea is that we want you to come closer to this geoglyph and land on the ground of the planet to try to find the secret inside this geoglyph.
Yeah, it's a way for us to attract you to the surface of the planet from outer space.
Yes.
We are going to use the spyglass again to look at Ganesha City from this distance. You will see that we can scan everything in the game, including large cities.
Ganesha City is pretty far away at that point.
It is,
and we're zooming on it.
We're zooming on it. We see the information, Ganesha City, and we can even see the giant statue that we flew around a few minutes ago. It's here. It's rendered in real time by our engine. So if
traffic is still running in the city at that moment. Everything is still there.
If Johan, our co-op player, is in the city, we can join him again, and there's no loading, nothing. It's all seamless.
Exactly.
And when we say seamless, we mean that not only we can go from scales to different scales in the same time, but also the different systems are crossing themselves seamlessly. This is our universe map. So it's not a regular 2D map of the game universe. It's a real thing. This is the planet that we were on a few minutes ago, rendered normally, and it's just a point of view that we give to you. So here we can see the giant geoglyph here that Emile and I just talked about. We can see Ganesha City. We've placed icons so that you can conveniently find your way back to the places you've been already. We've got some question marks to tease you on some new stuff. And earlier in the stream, Gab and Emile showed you a concept art of the planet of Soma, And this is what you see here. So we've got New India, and if we rotate the planet on the left, then we see Naraka. So that's the side that's hit by meteorites,
Yeah, exactly.
and it exists in the game already.
You can see those huge craters, created by all those meteorite showers, falling on the ground of the planet. This side of the planet, Naraka, of course, there are no cities there. You can't build a city like Ganesha City on this side of the planet. But if you want, you can go and explore it as a space pirate.
And as we saw in the artwork, there are some mines for...
exactly. There will be things to explore, of course, on this side of the planet.
But it's a very dangerous part of the planet that you cannot really settle in.
No.
If we zoom back again a bit, we see that this is the planet we are working on. It's very big in size. As you see, Ganesha City is small, but we can even zoom back and to see in real time. Again, it's in-game. It's not an image. We see the real Soma, the real Deus, which is the gas giant. Soma is rotating around, and it's rendered by our simulation, actually. And if we zoom back again, we see the whole System 3. And again, this is your zone for playing.
The area that you'll have to explore in the game. This is a great moment to talk about our day and night cycle. We didn't code any day and night cycle in this game. The day and night cycle is created by the fact that planets are rotating around the sun. So we have actually a solar system simulation in the game created this day and night cycle.
So we've got beautiful sunsets.
Exactly.
They are procedurally generated.
Exactly.
So we're back on Audrey, and actually we're going to switch to Johan to end up this demo. I said several times that you can part ways with your co-op friends in the game and then join again without all of this seamlessly. And that's you can do it in a small dungeon, you can do it in a city, but you can also do it across the whole universe. So here Johan is a living ground, and you can see that because he's still in the atmosphere, there is air friction on his spaceship. As soon as he's going to be out of the atmosphere, the effects of the flames are going to diminish like this, meaning no air friction anymore, and now it can reach speeds that are huge speeds.
Yeah.
Audrey is still here on the planet, so as I said, everything is happening in the same universe completely seamlessly. I think that's the end of our game demo. So we are really, really happy that we share this with you. To wrap things up, what we want to do with this game really is to make Ubisoft's very own space opera, where you embody a space pirate captain and you develop it and you customize it and you become a pirate legend. Yeah.
Thank you,
we're
guys.
Done.
We're done. Don't expect anything else.
There you go, Space Monkeys. Thank you so much for sharing this this demo with the Space Monkeys. I know it's been a wait. People have been looking forward to it. We really appreciate it. Again, if you have questions, which I'm sure you do, go into the chat on the forums or hashtag AskBGE, and we will try to answer as best as we can. And now we have a new...
Here comes a new challenge.
Person who is spawned, Audrey, who is level design director, and she's also world famous demoist.
That's the Audrey we wanted to
say her name.
It's the same one. And she's also she has a lot of stuff around here. She's also in charge of integrating the artworks into the demo and to the game, as you saw earlier during the demo. So Guillaume, if you could give us kind of a reminder about the whole hit record program, why we're doing this.
Yes, we knew from a long time that we wanted the community to contribute to making the game with us. It's really something that we wanted, and we found the perfect partner with Hit Record a few years ago. We announced at E3 this year that we would be doing this, and we did this actually. So we worked our way over the past 6 months with the community, with the team, working on briefing the community, on the assets that we needed, namely images and music. And Emile, Audrey, and the rest of the team really worked in collaboration with the Hit Record guys. Hey guys at Hit Record, we love you. The community, we love you as well. To actually be making these assets that we now have integrated in the game. We showed some of them. We have many more of them that are not integrated yet. Yes. But maybe Emile, you can talk us through the process.
I can talk about the process. Actually, Hit Record, they've been great on this side. They've helped us a lot with this because we received a lot of contributions, maybe more than what we expected actually, which is always good. was a good thing. So they selected the one they thought were actually the most interesting and the one that were fitting the best with the world that we are currently developing. And we have been reviewing all those great contributions, selected the one we liked the most, asked some modifications to tweak them and make them even better, and especially make sure that they could fit into our world, because it's very, very important for us to make sure that all these great pieces of art will end up in the final game. It's very, very, very key to us. So we've been a bit picky with with everybody, with the guys at Hit Record, and also with the community, and everybody has been working great, and making all those creations even better, and we're very, very happy with the final result.
We need to emphasize the fact that it's a collaborative process. So we've worked with the community to create this kind of artworks.
Yes.
And as we saw here, there were some in the demo that we saw that were integrated. We obviously can't put everything in the demo. You just saw some that flew by on the screen. If you want to see more, if you want to hear more, you can watch our live stream, our Space Monkey Report number 3 from last month, or you can go to the hitrecord.org/BGE game site to see everything in the final stages, and that will be eventually integrated into the game. And speaking of integration, Audrey, could you tell us a little bit about how that process goes?
First, we need to find a place where we are going to integrate the Hit Record contribution. My favorite one are the murals, because they are big, but we need big walls and flat walls to be perfectly integrated. It's like I really want to have Ganesha City as an open sky museum for contribution from Hit Record. It's like murals are like monuments. Yeah, you are driving through the city, and they are giving you some references points to navigate, to not being lost. So I think that's really important. They have to be highly recognizable, and you have to do some specific shape, color, themes. Using whatever you need to do, they have to be seen from far and from near you. But we still have to do a bit of work on our part. For example, we had this yellow elephant. It was very great. Everyone on the team really loved it. But when we tried to integrate it on the wall, it felt like a sticker. It was a bit sad. So we asked our level artist, Adrian, to put some frescoes all around it, and now it's much better, and that's really cool. And I think that now that we try to integrate some Hit Record contribution, we could give better feedback to the community and work together better.
Yeah, it's true that. Sorry, go ahead, Emile. Yeah.
We just what always say basically that we want those creations to really shine, in the game, and integrate those creations the perfect way possible.
And what we did with this first batch of contributions is we did a test, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
We tried. We didn't know in the first place if it was going to be successful. We hoped it would be, and we put all the work necessary for it to be, but it ended up being successful. So we're going to continue working.
Those are beautiful frescoes that we saw. So thank you again to the community.
Really good job.
Thank you.
Great. And so let's hear from our partners at Hit Record. They're going to talk to us a little bit about, on their side of things, how the experience went working on Beyond Good and Evil 2 and the community.
Hello, I'm Mike. I've been leading up the BGE2 art projects on our site.
I'm Ray. You might have seen me leading up the music side of things. We just wrapped up all of the art and music projects we've been developing together over the past few months. And so we just wanted to take a minute to thank everyone who contributed to the Beyond Good and Evil 2 community collaboration and highlight a few of the outstanding pieces you all created together.
Yeah, we obviously can't cover every awesome piece of music and art you've been collaborating on in this video, but we wanted to shout out a few to give you a taste of how the community has been involved.
On the music side of things, the community have been collaborating on songs and stingers to play on the radio and in various locations in the world of BGE2. It was so cool to see musicians, artists, and fans of the game all come together, building off of each other to create these finished pieces. For example, we made a song called Throw 'Em in the Brig, which is a heavy rock anthem about a space pirate captain who's let his power get to his head. The song began with an idea from The Last Domino with just a hook figured out.
Throw 'em in the brig!
Then Adam J. Smith came in with an amazing instrumental that set the basis for the song. From there, we got a great vocal performance and a set of lyrics from C.A. Newman, who became our space pirate captain. And right at the very end, we got a really cool idea from Kindy to add a third verse where the crew turns on their own captain to stage a mutiny, and it became the perfect ending for this song. We also had so many great international contributions. Our song Onwards started with an instrumental from New Antique that had a really unique vibe. Community members from around the world then start contributing lyrics in Japanese, French, Tagalog, and more, and the song became this fantastic multilingual piece that fits perfectly with BGE2's mix of cultures. We also made a bunch of radio stingers for the space radio station Radio Cheetah. One example is called Bag of Candy. LQ Forest uploaded the idea for this stinger initially, and we got lots of ideas for how to develop it further. Epic the Butcher gave a great VO performance, along with other additions from Connor Cronus, Unicorn Salient, and Hamster Alliance, and it was all brought together by C.A. Newman.
Give me a bag of candy!
Get out!
And on the visual side of things, it's been so inspiring to see the BGE fans embracing the game universe and creating artwork that might live in this unique world. Space Monkeys have been collaborating on posters and murals and graffiti that players will be able to see on the walls of various locations in the game. One of the many awesome pieces is Put Those Screams to Action. VitraShark combined a sketch of an angry monkey by Rudy Mary and an awesome illustration by Clara L. Vegel Grady to create this awesome revolutionary poster. Ideas from the community have actually inspired the team at Ubisoft as they developed the game. A great example of this are the pieces of album artwork the community has collaborated on for some of the Space Pirate Radio songs we've been developing. Artists on the site just organically started creating album designs. And the BGE2 team really loves seeing this creativity, and these album designs will now be incorporated into the game too.
Like we said earlier, these are just a few of the many awesome pieces of art and music that we've developed together. A huge thank you to everyone who's contributed.
Yeah, there were over 12,000 contributions from people all over the world. It's been so great seeing everyone come together, Hit Recorders, Space Monkeys, and those of you who are new to both communities to collaborate together to create some amazing art and music for BGE2.
And to all you Space Monkeys who joined the site for this collaboration, we're so happy to have you and hope you keep contributing to all sorts of projects on Hit Record.
So what's next? We're finalizing all the assets we're delivering to the BGE2 team, and we're resourcing each piece. As a reminder, just like every monetized Hit Record production, if your contribution is used in one of the final pieces we deliver to the BGE2 dev team, you will be paid.
In the first half of January, we're going to post community payment proposals to our website. Everyone who has a contribution included will be notified and can participate in a 2-week open feedback period we have anytime payment proposals go out.
Yeah, we made a video explaining our payment process for this project that you can find on our site, along with much more helpful info.
If you have any questions, reach out to us. You can email us at support@hitrecord.org or find us on the site, and we'll answer any questions you may have.
Big thanks to Ubisoft for giving us and our community this awesome opportunity, and thank you once again.
Thanks.
Oh, glitter hat. Oh yeah, we need the glitter hat. It's a tradition. Okay, thank you. This is not Emile anymore, as you can see. Thank you, Emile. Sorry, I forgot to say thank you for all of the speech and the demo and everything. I know it's tiring, but hey, we've got JP here, JP Caro, who is a content director, and he's going to talk to us a little bit later about Captain and Augments. And so this is the dev update part, so can you please update us devs?
Yes. So I'm going to update you guys because I'm a dev.
Yes.
So we've prepared 3 videos actually to show you on some specific aspects of some features of the game, the progress that we've made over the past few months, namely on the traffic in the city. Audrey is going to talk to us about this. We've put together a small artistic direction on animations, and then JP is going to tell us about the progress we've made on the perks. On the augments, we said we would say that on the augments, and I'm the one who's messing up. So we're gonna show you some videos, and the videos have been made with the music created by the community. So we're using a lot the assets that have been created by you guys.
So since last E3, we worked a lot on the traffic. You know, it's our little baby on the city team. We worked on the density of the traffic, we worked on the line and the path, and we worked on the behavior. You know, when you are driving with your spaceship in the city, the crowd is very small, so you don't really see them, and when you're flying above, it's worse. So it's really important for us to have a living traffic, because it's giving the sense of life in the city. So it's our little baby. But it's a space opera, the streets are really huge, the city is vertical, so we need a really, really huge amount of vehicle on screen to have this sense of a busy and living city. So that's quite a challenge for us, really. But I want to say that my favorite part of the demo is when we leave, you know, the temple, we are on the tunnel, and you can see the city, you have the giant buildings, and you have all the traffic lines above you. And this feeling is pretty awesome, you know. I have always an epic sound in my mind, like, and it's really, really cool. I really love what we are making with the traffic.
She does demos and she sings as well.
Yeah, in my head, only in my head. I promise, only in my head.
It was not in your head this time.
No,
Yeah.
We heard it just to make sure you realize.
but usually it's a Jurassic Park thing, because you know I feel really small when I see it all. It's so big around me, you know. So, but in the demo, you know, the traffic is a bit static, and we worked a lot on the behavior. Now the ship are trying to avoid you, for example. Not all the time. It's a
They are
feature.
honking as well.
Yeah, they're honking as well. So the team did a really good job, and the cool part about the traffic is that you can hijack any vehicle you want. Yeah. You saw me in the demo stealing a motor speeder.
So speaking of hijacking vehicles, we're going to show you right now a video with some captain and vehicle research that we've been working on.
I always had a bigger dream than you to be a captain of a badass pirate crew. Well, it's just a fantasy, so who knew this was the day my big feet had to fill the shoes. Bells and whistles, alarms going off, and it seems like a robbery in progress. A ragtag group of pirates with a monkey leading the charge, heading my way. Better run, Forrest. Long before I knew I was running with the crew, and I had to jump off the train into a spaceship that was waiting. Now I'm rolling back to back with the pilot.
Okay, and so in this video you saw some research about the captain, the actual character you're going to play, and we're going to also show you another video with some research for animation in terms of augments and
fighting.
and yes, exactly, combat.
Describe that your freedom lies beyond the artifact of moksha. In deep space, flowing like an ocean. You're looking for the truth, you're lucky you're still alive. Wisdom within beginning, depending in the space and time. An ancient meteorite, freshly falling from the sky. Legend says revealed coordinates the freedom that we seek to find. Try to break us down, you can't stop us now. We were made to stand up, one and all.
So as you saw in the beginning of the video, Jipe, so he's going to talk to us a little bit more about what's the philosophy behind the augments. I know we saw them in the demo. Can you talk to us a little bit about it?
Guillaume already talked about with Emile, former. As you saw in the video, the augments will help you a lot during combat. You can defeat your enemies with your melee fighting, but you will always need to use augments to put the situation on your advantage. So it's something really strong. You can do many stuff. You have seen in the video that you can become invisible, you can reverse everything, you can do stuff like this. And what is important is that the technology is something you can earn by picking it around in all the universe. You will have to make a collection of it. So you will have to explore the whole universe and look for more augments to put them in your collection, then equip them. Once you equip them, it will define your playstyle. So you can team up with friends and with your own playstyle take advantage. You can combine, of course, augments to generate new situations. And what you will have to take care of that enemy also will use perks, augments, bing, and
perks, augments.
Yeah. And you will be able to find those augments also in different dungeons, for example, or during the traffics. You can use them with your ships, and so it's something really important in the game.
And also on the not only on the characters, enemies, but also on the environment.
On the environment, and you can apply them in the environment too. If you want to paralyze a human body, you can do it, but you can paralyze objects as well. Yes, and the system is responding on this. So that's really great and really powerful.
Cool. Well, thanks for the updates, devs.
Yeah.
And
you're welcome.
we're at the end, coming to the end of Space Monkey Report number 4. And we really appreciate you guys joining us. And speaking of joining us, one last little announcement of
yes, you're right.
people joining us.
I thought you wanted to ask people to join the Space Monkey program, which we do. But we want to talk about a latest addition to the BGNE dev team family. So we're welcoming Ubisoft Blue Byte studio in Mainz. Welcome, guys, to the family. We are working with these guys. You can shoot it now. The video. Now.
And now.
To do that. And so as you saw on the map that we showed previously, so Mainz is the latest edition, but we've been working for quite some time with Ubisoft in Sofia, Ubisoft in Barcelona, Ubisoft in Bordeaux as well, and of course a lot of talented people in Montpellier. So it's a team that's growing, and everybody around Europe is committed to bring you more of BGNE 2 soon. And
as Guillaume said, if you're not already a space monkey, you shouldn't have been watching this. But no, you can. There's always time. There's always time to sign up to be a space monkey. We've got a lot of good stuff coming your way. Happy holidays. Have a great end of the year, and we will see you guys in 2019.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye everyone. Have a great